Why did the rope wear leather armor? Because it was made of hide. Welcome back to Creatures, Caverns, and Crafting. Folks, I know I've been creating a lot of miniature series lately with the Black Pyramid, but this was a crafting channel, so I thought I would create an abandoned house for you for this October. To start this project, we're just going to cut some cardboard, and I'm going to take a box here. Now, I see a lot of crafting videos where people are taking foam core and creating squares and rectangles. Hey, if you've got the form already created with some cardboard, make life easier. So what I'm going to do is just do some guesstimation here. I'm just going to kind of put this up to the box, put a little mark on it, and then I'll cut that. That'll be our actual brick foundation for our house. And then what I'm going to do is just put this together using some hot glue. It's a little flimsy, but it will get stronger as we put more glue and the glue cools and as we attach it to the house itself. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this to the box, and notice I've got a line up here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, and we want this to be about maybe 3 inches, maybe a little bit more, a little less. And this is if you're going for like a standard 28mm build. Now, I'm just taking an inch off. As you can see, I'll go all the way around. I'll just use a razor knife to cut this. Be very simple, very easy to remove. All right. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting out some windows and doors. To do this, I'm just going to get a straight line using my ruler. And once I have those cut out, I'm also going to use some 3D printed windows for this. Notice you want to make a back door and a back window as well. Most modern houses have that. These are some 3D printed windows that I have and some doors. You can create these yourself, maybe using some popsicle sticks or maybe some coffee stirrers. And I'm also going to create some vinyl siding. To do this, I'm just going to print off some patterns off the internet. You can easily find these. You're going to put these up against the box, put a little glue down, and cut out the windows and the doors. Also notice that I used a little bit of brick paper just for that foundation. Real quick, I'm going to give our doors a blast of paint. I'll do this for the windows as well. Once our doors and windows are dry, I'm going to go ahead and start popping these in. These should fit pretty snug if you cut them right. You can use a little bit of super glue if you want to make sure they don't pop out. Let's take a look here at the back. We'll put our back door in as well. For additional detail, I'm going to take some plastic packaging and I'm just going to cut this out. Now what this is going to do is this is going to create our glass panes for our home. Now a really cool thing that you can do is cut this out to make it look like broken panes of glass, which is really cool and it adds a lot of character for a build like this. For the roof, I'm going to start by cutting out some cardboard. Now I want to go kind of thin with this cardboard, and I want it to be maybe 7.5 inches, depending on the box that you're using. Now I'm just going to cut this out for right now, and I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to come back to it later. Once we have our cardboard roof created, we can use this to kind of gauge how we cut out the trusses. That's the triangle pieces I show here. And what I'm also going to do is just take another color of vinyl siding and put that at the top. We're just going to break it up. We don't want this to be all one color. And as you can see, this does fit pretty well. If you have some gaps, don't worry, we can fill that in and cover that up. An abandoned house wouldn't be complete unless it was boarded up. To do this, I'm just taking some cardstock strips and I'm gluing them to the windows like so. If you don't have cardstock, you could create this using maybe some popsicle sticks, maybe toothpicks, something like that would work just as well. I'm just going to glue these down. And I also find that if you arrange these in kind of like a haphazard pattern, they'll look a lot better. They look like they were put together in a rush. So here we have them already, and we're going to go ahead and put some shutters on this. I'm just going to take some of that white siding I had earlier that I used on the trusses of the home, and we'll cut those out and put those just to create those shutters. This house looks way too clean to be abandoned, so we need to fix this. First, I'm going to start with some nutmeg brown and some burnt umber. I'm also going to use some Vallejo environmental paints I have here. And what we really want to do is just kind of maybe break up the brightness of this. First, I'm going to start by taking some of that burnt umber and some of that nutmeg. I've got this really thin. I'm just going to start splattering it onto the surface like this. Now, this is paper, so we have to be kind of careful. We don't want to go too wet with it. It could rip the paper. One thing we'll do, once we're done with all this, we will seal it to make sure that no moisture can ruin our work. I'm going to start applying some Reichland washes to the window sills and the doors, and that's just to kind of pick out some details, make things look a little bit more dingy. Also notice that I applied some of the Vallejo environmental slime up here at the top, and that's just kind of a green mildew that you'll see often on vinyl siding homes. The one thing about vinyl siding homes is, for the most part, they stay clean really easy, but you can get grime and mold that will attach to them, so that's what I'm trying to mimic here. Next up, I'm going to take some Green Stump World Natural Leaf Litter. I'm just going to apply that to the surface using some white glue. I'm also going to take some of that Vallejo Environmental crushed grass and apply it to the corners of the home. To finish off the roof, I'm just going to take some foam sheeting and cut it to the size of the cardboard. Once I have that, I'm just going to start carving in some shingles. And here's our roof put together. Took the foam sheeting and I just carved out some shingles. That was very simple to do. I also took some black construction paper and cut that just to hide the gaps. As you notice here at the top, I created some flashing just to bring those two pieces of foam sheeting together and hide that gap. Also, we're going to muddy this up a little bit using some paints. Also, what we'll do is add some pigments to this. You guys know I love my pigments. I'm going to use a burnt umber and a natural sienna. And just kind of apply that with a makeup brush. And then we're going to go ahead and add some more leaf blocking and some static grass. And I've also created some front stairs as well. And here's a side view of some vines that I created.